afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you're joining us from today. I just want to give a shout out to our welcoming team. They're not here with us today, but they all send their greetings, seasonal greetings to everybody. This is our last webinar before Christmas for those that are celebrating it. And for those that are not celebrating too, we say welcome. Everybody's welcome. So next week, we'll have our last meeting for the year. So we hope everybody will turn up as well. But I'm not going to delay a lot. But before I continue, and Sister Irene, can you just come and greet the house? Thank you, Sister I.
Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, whatever time that you are joining us. Happy holidays to everyone. And for those that are celebrating Christmas, Merry Christmas in advance. We have just 48 hours to the day. So I'm sure many of us here are ready and they have prepared. But I just want to appreciate everyone still making time to be with us this Sunday afternoon. Our sister has a lot for us. It's going to be very interactive, as we have heard. So we're going to enjoy it together. And so let's be very attentive and stay tuned. Try not to be distracted or have too much noise in the background. So, all right. Take your seatbelts or buckle your seatbelts and get ready with your pen and pencils.
Yeah, we're doing something slightly different today. Just give me 1 minute. Queen Kanla, if you just explain what you're expecting in your session, then that'll give us time to everything said. Just explain what is you're expecting, please.
Thank you so much, Queen Dr. Pat, for the opportunity to be able to be the presenter and guest today. Greetings to all ONPASSIVians. Greetings to everyone in the Dream Team. It is my honor to be your guest and presenter today. So for today, your mindset will be sharing your self-reflection. It's a continuation from what we got as an introduction to allyship. But now we want to take it deeper, being intentional. So that is where our activities are going to be. Share your experiences, what you know, who have you seen around your workplace, in your work life. So that will be it for the session today. Thank you, over to you, Dr. Pat.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. So we're going to start our session with our signature tune, In It to Win It.
We are here, we are on passive Your next stop is ONPASSIVE.
Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
All right, we are in it to win it. You have seen what we ONPASSIVE have done in the past, or the contracts, or the partnership, everything. And that was taking us back. Okay, next week or two, we'll have the latest one again. Trust me. Today, you see, when you lost one arm, you have to struggle with the other arm that doesn't work. But hey, we are in it to win it. That's the main message, right? It doesn't matter whether you're old, you're young, you are technical or not, your background, your gender, as long as you're in it and you switch the light bulb on, the light will shine on you. Without further ado, I'm going to pass it over to my the queens of this platform. I've heard there are a lot of them, but the people that really makes it work, they are all the people that makes it work in the background. I just sit here and rant. Without them, there'll be no platform. So let me send it to the first two duo. Over to you, Mama McCormick and Queen Irene.
Wow, thank you so much, Sister P. Thank you. You say it so nicely and makes us look like we really should not speak after you. But hello, greetings, family. My name is Debbie. Signing in today, I'll be co-moderating with my other sister, Irene. Sister Irene is in New Jersey and I am in Chicago. So we're here on another beautiful day, and we promise it's going to be a very short and sweet webinar. I'll pass it over to Sister Irene to introduce herself, and then we continue from there. Thank you.
Hello again. Yeah, this is Irene Ekwede from Maryland. It's gonna be a sweet and exciting webinar today, getting us ready in the festive mood for the Christmas holidays. So as I said earlier, take your seat, get your pen and paper ready, because it's going to be very interactive and we are all going to enjoy it. All right. Over to you, Queen Debbie.
Thank you, Sister Irene. Yes, oh, I see a lot of faces that were here. Our sister from India is here today as well. Awesome. She's very nicely situated in her camera. Okay, we need to be in the right frame of mind to receive our presenter's message today, and we're going to call on our princess, our queen mother, all the beautiful, lovely names you can give her, because she has that beautiful, sweet voice that we just listened to. In It to Win It is by Sister Lerato Shadare Prosperity. Just in case we did not tell you who the author of that lovely music In It to Win It is. And she's going to give us the word. The mindset is what we preach in this and its sister forums, and it's getting us ready for the day, for our webinar, and the rest of our week until we return next Sunday. So, Queen Sister Lerato, thank you so much, our gorgeous
you
sister.
are the queen mother, you my gorgeous sister, you. You are the, when you say, oh, my sister, my queen mother, I'm like, no, you are the one. So thank you, Sister Debbie. Say thank you, Sister Irene. All the beautiful faces that I hear, you ladies are so beautiful and inspiring. I always tell you that when I'm here, I'm inspired, and my cup is filled over and over again. So I just want to thank you for this opportunity. And like Dr. Benny says always, we cannot ignore the fact that we didn't wake ourselves up this morning. Our alarms didn't wake us up. We were woken up by a creator. Your alarm, we can set your alarm, but some people set their alarms and they don't wake up. So it's not the alarm that wakes us up. It's our creator giving us life. In him we live, move, and have our being and expression. So we cannot go without saying good. Thank God and thank you, Lord, and being grateful. Just that gratitude that we're here. And I always say, for me, another day is another opportunity to love well. It's another opportunity to make better choices. I'll be making choices every day, and some choices are better than the others. And so when I know that things didn't turn out for me, the way that I expected, yesterday, today I have another chance to make better choices and to try again. So as long as I have breath in my body, it's always dusting myself off and trying it again. Some days are better, some days are harder, but we just keep moving, right? And remember, we were talking about a winning mindset last week, and we discussed a few things. We said that we have to define our whys. When we define why we want prosperity, why we want good things for ourselves, already our Creator said that God set certain things for us up. My children are here, so they're distracting me. I'm in between reprimanding them and actually talking to you guys. You have to keep it down. So God set it up for us, I spoke about that. There's more than enough for all of us. And his idea for us is for us to win. His intention for us is for us to win. But we also have to make choices that support that. We have to agree with God and agree with good. And so when we define our why, it's a step forward. We start with that step when we agreeing into prosperity and taking that first steps to say, yes, I agree with good, I agree with God, I agree with everything that gives evidence that God wants us to prosper, which is exactly what he wants for us. The fact that we have life in our bodies, he gave us all this beautiful, it's evidence of him wanting us to prosper, right? So agreeing with that is the first step, making that step to say, yes, I agree with good. And now I'm going to make decisions that support that. That's very important. So we have to define our why. And our why, first of all, we have to start with ourselves. If we don't have a goal that is us orientated, then it doesn't sit well. So we have to start with ourselves. Why do I want to prosper? Why do I want to have life and life more abundantly? It starts with you. You cannot give what you don't have. All right. If you don't have life, you can't give life. If you yourself are not prosperous, you cannot forward prosperity. You can't give from nothing. So when you say you define your why, you have to be full first. This is what also our CEO always said, is that we have to start with ourselves first. Fill yourself up so that you can be able to be that well where everybody can come and drink, not you wanting to give something that you don't have. So when you define your why, you have to start with yourself first. Fill yourself up, pour into yourself, and then define your why. And then the second thing that you can do now is to give to your loved ones, to your environment, the things that are closest to you. And then you now extend that to anything else that is important to you, or you whatever that is a cause that is close to your heart. But you defining your why is very important, because then you commit yourself to your prosperity, you commit yourself to your growth. That means then your choices has to support that. When you commit yourself to that growth, when you commit yourself to say, okay, fine, I'm prosperous, then every day you have to choose prosperity. It doesn't matter how things look around you, right? The circumstances might not be the evidence of what you have decided, but over time, things will have to turn around and change according to your consciousness, right? So it's important to now define your why. Another mic is on. Anyway, it's very, very important to define your why, right? Then it keeps you on course. And then we said that you have to make a plan. We have to make a plan. When we start agreeing with our prosperity, we have to now start making a plan. Your plan, our plans are different. All of us have different ways to make a plan. I can't say it's only one way, because we are different beings here. We express ourselves differently. The most important thing is that making that decision to agree with good, and now making a plan to stick with that, meaning that we have to have a daily routine that supports that. For me, it's meditation, it's prayer, aligning with what you want. You have to align with it, and you have to make a plan. Being here, because all of us have other things to do, but we choose to be here because we know that we are committed to this. And like I said last week, is that we support one another, we bring each other up. We can't let each other fail. We can never, ever, ever leave anybody behind. So coming here is to remind each other, to strengthen each other, to sharpen one another, to refocus and say, guys, let's stay focused, So that commitment to say, I'm making a plan. My plan is that I'm attending webinar. I'm hearing for people that we flow together. I'm hearing I'm coming to webinars. I want to hear something different. I want to empower myself. That's commitment, and that's making a plan. So our plan will look different from one person to the other, but make a plan, right? And that's daily routine. And then the next point I will mention is accountability. We have to be very, very, very accountable, with our decisions, and be real with ourselves, guys. When you know that, what, I didn't commit, be real with yourselves. Be real with yourself. Don't lie to yourself and not be real with yourself. When you know that you're not accountable, or you didn't, stick to the plan, you don't have to beat yourself up, but you have to be real so you can make real change. when you are real with yourself and you can look at yourself, okay, fine, here, I slacked off, then you can actually make real change, you know? So other people choose to have accountability partners. You know, there are many people who go to different programs. There are people who go to, or, you know, Weight Watchers, different programs. They tell you to have an accountability partner, because when you have somebody else looking from the outside who's honest with you, they can say, dude, you're slacking off. Where can we help each other? How do we build each other so that we stay committed to this journey? We stay committed to winning, right? So there are many ways we can do it. And of course, when we talk about prosperity, you know, preparing for your prosperity has many facets. You know, there's many directions that we can go to say, okay, fine, how would we study, you know, how do we make ourselves, how do I say, get literacy when it comes to money? How do we build wealth? What are the things that can, you know, help us to build wealth fast? There are many things that can help us to build wealth, but, you know, there are many facets of that. But being committed to the journey means then you go to different directions that will support that decision to say, you know what, I want to work in wealth. It's not only just speaking it, but, you know, tapping into those things that will help you to stay focused and to accumulate wealth. And the literacy, all these things, there are many things that you can tap into that will help you to be sharp when it comes to building wealth, right? So it's important. And the last thing that I want to mention, because I know my sister Kanla has a lot of things for us today, so I'm looking forward to that, and I don't want to take too much time, but the last thing that I want to talk about is perspective, right? Today I was, you know, at church, and we were talking about perspectives. Like all of us at the beginning of the year, we have many goals, right? And some of us achieve all those goals, which is great, wonderful, and great. You know, some of us don't achieve those goals, but it doesn't mean that when you didn't achieve certain goals that you set for yourself, everything else that happened doesn't matter, right? Because sometimes when we set a specific goal, miracles will be happening around us, beautiful things will be happening around us, but we can overlook that because we didn't achieve one thing. We concentrate on not achieving that thing, and we forget every other thing, the magic that has been happening around our lives, and we start taking those things for granted. So as much as we set goals, we have to be open to miracles. We have to be open to other things coming into our lives. And those small things, sometimes we don't count them. And those small things are the ones that will become big things. They're small things, small miracles that will explode and become big things. But if we don't see them and we overlook them, we miss the moment. Right? So it's very important to look at those things that we think are small in our lives, or just because we are focusing, like most of us here, we're focusing, we want money with ONPASSIVE, but we were overlooking every other thing, you know, the wealth that we get here, every other thing that we're gaining here, we forget it. All the other goals that we saw, you know, Burj Khalifa, all these other things that were happening, other people were not seeing them. There's still people who don't see the milestones that we reached, because for them, their concentration was that pinnacle. We want to start earning money, and everything else they overlooked. They're the same people that, oh, when are we starting to earn money? And I'm thinking, okay, you don't see the other steps that we're taking. You don't see the building blocks. You don't see what's happening. How do you, yes, we have a goal, all of us right here. We're going to get here, but we cannot forget all these other steps in between, all these miracles that are happening, all these pinnacles and beautiful things that are happening just because we're focused on one thing. You know, so there are many people who are still asking me today, is it still happening? I'm like, yes, it's still happening. Just because, you know, some people, we're not, you know, people are not, we're not earning the way that we think we should. It doesn't mean that it's not happening. We are here. It's happening. The fact that we're here, it's happening. Right? We're in this webinar today. We're going to hear from Sister Kanla. It is happening. She's going to say something that's going to shift our minds, that's going to build, you know, that's going to add edification. All these things matter. Right? We cannot just look at one goal and forget everything else that is happening. So keeping a very good perspective is very, very important on our way, or when we are now growing into our abundance. We cannot overlook the things that we think are small that are happening. They're not small. Every journey of 1,000 miles, they'll tell you start with a step. That first step that you take matters, because had you not taken that step, you wouldn't be moving towards your goal. So every step counts. Right? It's like me every morning when I decide, oh, you know what, I'm going to do 10,000 steps. When you look at it as a whole, it's overwhelming because it's a lot. But when I start taking one step, one after the other, sometimes I'll see myself passing my goal because I'm taking the steps. When I come back, I'll be like, wow, I actually surpassed the goal that I set for myself because I didn't look at the whole journey. I just concentrated on every step. And that gave me strength, because sometimes when you look at the whole thing, it can be overwhelming. Like when you have to do a task and it's a lot, when you look at the whole thing, you can be overwhelmed. But you can't overlook that first step that you take towards your goal. All this building things, or you pacing yourself up to your entire goal, you can't take it for granted. So it's very good to keep a good perspective on our way, on our way to becoming who we are. All these wins, I'm not going to say small wins, but all the steps that we take, the wins that we take every day becomes a part of a whole, right? They become a part of a whole, so we can't overlook them, right? So perspective is very, very important. It's very, very important to have a good perspective on where we are, and just, understand that every step matters into our prosperity. Every step matters. And some steps we can't even afford to skip. Right now, some people don't listen to webinars, or they don't attend classes on how to build wealth. And then when they are there, now they're going to regret that they didn't sit in classes like this, where they could have accumulated certain things that would edify them. Some people will regret that. Some people will regret on their way to success, they ignored everything. There are many people that will tell you, yes, they're wealthy, but they don't have families. They cannot even quote one good friend. Everybody's around their lives because they are around their lives because they want to gain something from them. They don't actually have genuine friends, because they skipped that. They were concentrating on one goal. They forgot to build relationships, genuine relationships. They forgot to build certain steps in between. And then later they discover, oh my God, this right here, I can't get up there, have all this success, and have nobody else to share it with. And now have to give it to strangers. There are people who are grieving because now they have to leave their wealth to strangers. They don't have families, they have nothing. So they now have to leave their wealth to dogs and cats. You know those people who will make wills, and then their will is their dog that's inheriting their millions. And you're sitting there thinking, what happened to your children? What happened to your families? But they have nobody, literally nobody else to leave their wealth with. They only have a dog to leave it with. It's sad, right? So on our journey to achieving our goals and achieving those things that we set ourselves, we can't afford to miss certain things in the middle that will make everything whole. I told you that success or wealth or prosperity is not whole when there's certain elements that are missing to it. Love, family, there are many things that makes it beautiful when everything comes together. When you are in prosperity, it has to be whole. It's not only one part of it, right? It's not only money. It's not only money. That means everything around your life has to thrive. You have to thrive in relationships. You have to have healthy relationships. You have to have everything around your life thriving. Then that is real prosperity, right? So perspective is very, very important. Knowing that every step of the journey counts. Every step of the journey counts. The wisdom that we have in between, there are certain things when you sit and introspect, you will think, oh my God, like now when I look back at my life, I mean, I'm not that old, but when I reflect on my life and check my journey also with my career, I'm like, thank God certain things didn't happen 10 years ago, because the wisdom that I have now, or my perspective has changed. And had it happened, then I wouldn't know where I would be now, maybe destroyed or whatever, because my perspective changed. Right. And I thank God. I'm like, at that moment when it was not happening, I was bitter. I was so angry. Now I'm like, thank you, Lord. Me and my friends always joke is that, sometimes we look back and we look at the people that we were dating when we were 19, 20, and we wanted to marry these people. And now you're looking back, you're like, what the hell? Never. Why? I would have never. Right. So you're like, never, ever, So certain things, when you get a certain perspective and you look back, like, thank God these things didn't happen. And now you have the wisdom to, now at this point, when you accumulate the wisdom that you want and that you need for the journey, you sit in it, and then you know that, okay, everything that I needed is here. Then you sit well in your prosperity and your wealth, right? So like I mentioned, we have to define our why. We have to make a plan. We have to have accountability. We have to make a routine. We have to have good perspective. Check your perspective, right? So thank you so much for this opportunity to speak, guys. I love you so much. In case somebody didn't tell you, you are deeply loved. And thank you so much for this opportunity.
Thank you, our queen. every day you come in, it's like we haven't heard from you before. 56 Sundays every year, everyone is very unique. And this is the sweetest of them all. And everyone is always very unique anyway. Thank you. The winning mindset, that's where we are. We have agreed to follow the winning mindset. But we start by defining it and we execute. You define, you don't execute, it's not taking you anywhere. And yes, we have agreed with our Creator for those of us who believe in miracles. And actually, those who believe today, the gospel I heard about, the miracle is one of the things we talked about today. When Mary went to visit Elizabeth, and because the baby leaped for joy in her womb. Why? Because Mary was somehow doubting, but that baby said, no, you've got to believe. You are the miracle. And yes, this is proof that you did not go crazy. You are the miracle, and I'm here to show proof of that. We are living miracles by listening to the vision of our CEO, and that has led us here. We saw that vision through him, and we've been walking the journey, and I hope that we continue to walk that journey. You continue to inspire us and make us continue to believe in our miracles and what we are capable of doing. Thank you very much, sis. Really appreciate it. All right, we're going to move on to a segment that everyone has been looking forward to. And this is part 2 by the one and only. You can call her Rahel, you can call her Kanla, but she's our queen sister, Kanla. If you want to know anything about HR, she's the one person you should knock on her door. If her spirit moves, and her spirit always moves, she will give you whatever you need from her. She's talked to us about ONPASSIVE and affiliates and allyship, and it was an interesting concept which we all enjoy. And today she's doing a part 2 of that. So I hope if you missed the first one, this is another opportunity for you to follow up and make notes, because she's here and will answer questions at the end of her presentation. Sister Kanla, we love you. Thank you so much. Do what you do best, girl. Thank you. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Queen Sister Debbie. Thank you once again to all the leaders of the Dream Team. Thank you to everyone watching and listening through the YouTube. If we are streaming, I don't recall if with Dr. P successfully is streaming live or not, but I still want to extend for those who will watch later. And like Sister Debbie said, this is part 2. Yes, and I know there may be some other affiliates, founders, users who were not here on the first part 1. So welcome. This is going to be our new theme. You will be hearing it time and again, and there will be other parts coming because this is a huge topic and we can break it down into many, many small pieces. So I hope you're going to enjoy how we are going to do it. It's going to be interactive. You share your experience. You raise your hand if you're able to talk. If you cannot, please send your text or your interactive messages through the chat, and I will beg for Queen Sister Yvonne and Queen Dr. Benny if you can look at the chats on my behalf, whatever comes up, so we can be able to get those feedback and then move forward. So without much further ado, permit me share my screen as we begin, and I am going to take you back a few slides from where we were the last session. and then we can move ahead. So please let me know if you can see my slide. Perfect.
We can see it. Yes, sister.
So once more, thank you. And we are into allyship part 2. ONPASSIVE affiliates and allyship part 2. Just to refresh your memory or piggyback on a few things we discussed the last time, we asked a couple of questions to everyone. If you are able to, just say 1 or 2 persons. This is specifically for those who were not here. So just to give them the opportunity, 1 or 2. If you can please just share with us what you think is the meaning of allyship. What does it mean to you? If you were not here during the last presentation, please. Okay, so
it looked like everybody was here for part 1.
All right, then that's
beautiful. Can I answer it?
Yes, guys, sister.
I think allyship means to support, being actively supportive of a cause.
Thank you, Queen Lorato. Actively being in support.
Yeah.
At least, yeah. Our sister was not here the last time. Thank you. So that is great, and that is correct. So thank you, sis. Our next slide is going to give you some definition of what it is. And like our sister said, you can summarize it as actively being in support. Now, I added a new definition, which is not so much different from what we heard the last time, this time from the Merriam-Webster dictionary. It tells us that it is a state of condition of being an ally, your supportive association with one person or a group, specifically with people of marginalized or mistreated group to which one does not belong. That emphasis on to which one does not belong is very important. Now, we talked about, okay, there is something such as a better ally or a poor or bad ally. And we talked a lot about it the last time. I'm sure consciously in our minds, we can already, based on the definition, and a good example I used was, okay, at work, at home, between siblings, you have groups within which you interact, whether it's within your work departments, you work as a team, you belong to that group. At home, as a family, siblings, you belong to that group. Within the community, everyone working together, you belong to that community. Within ONPASSIVE, the dream team, all of us here together, we belong here as ONPASSIVians. So then, how does this theme of allyship, you being supportive and being active, what are some of the things you can think in your mind that you, as someone who does not belong in a community, that you can be able to stand and support someone when you see that, oh no, this is not right. There is something that isn't going right. And so the differentiation will come when you are a member of that group or that community, or you are not a member. So in other words, you are internal or you are external. And that sometimes shapes our actions, what we do, our instinctive reactions, we tend to limit ourselves only to the group within which we are. And then sometimes we do not pay attention even to groups that are outside of our own immediate group. Not of your fault. Sometimes we do that unknowingly. So this will be an opportunity for those that may not have deeper knowledge of what allyship means, not only within, but as well as external, out of your own group, out of your own community, how to be a good ally, how to be a better ally versus being a someone who will be like a bystander or a poor ally. With that, it leads us to our icebreaker number 1 activity. Please write in the chat or raise your hands and share with us something unique about you. 2 things about you beginning with I am that reflects your allyship, your support, your activism, or your loyalty to ONPASSIVE. That begins with I am. And one thing that begins with a lie, again, as it relates to ONPASSIVE, as whether you are a founder, you are an affiliate, you are a user, please write down those 3 things either in the chat or raise your hands and share with us.
Sorry, I was going to make a joke that I am a woman. I'm trying to break the ice. Come on, guys. This is going to be interactive.
All right, you are a woman. Yes, a woman. How ONPASSIVE comes in?
I am a woman with a vision to change our community with God's grace and help.
Okay. Thank you, sis.
Mr. Rahel, I'm not sure I understand the question. So for instance, if I said I am committed and engaged, is that something that you're talking about? Because
yes.
Okay. And the part about a lie, what do you mean? I mean, as in a not truth, because it sounds very much like your topic, allyship. So what is this about ALIE? What is that? What is a lie? You're saying?
A lie.
Okay.
A lie about...
A lie about ONPASSIVE, a lie about me, a lie about what? What is the situation there?
You ONPASSIVE. ONPASSIVE. Focus on ONPASSIVE.
Okay. All right.
Queen Kanla, can you break that second part down? See, I didn't do the second part because I'm lost too.
Okay.
I understand the first part.
Share 2 things that begins with I am as an ONPASSIVian, whether you are founder, user, affiliate, and a lie.
So I am not a doubter. I don't spread bad news. Something like that. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay. Well, there you go. I got it then. So I am committed and engaged, and I don't spread any negativity about my ONPASSIVE. None whatsoever.
Okay. Thank you so much, Queen Yvonne.
You're very
Dr.
welcome.
Pat, you can finish yours. You said you did not do the second
The second part?
Yes.
Okay, and I'll give only 1.2, right? I am an ONPASSIVian that believe in the process and will stay true to the process.
There you go.
My second I am. And it's a lie. Oh Lord, that lie is confusing me yet. I am a chain smoker. That's a lie.
She said, focus on ONPASSIVE. What about ONPASSIVE? That's not a lie that you're not doing. You're not doing it.
All right. I am not putting people down.
Hey, there you go.
I'm not stepping on people's head.
There you go.
Because I want to go to the top.
Excellent answers. Yes.
Can I say something?
Of course
Yes,
it
yes, Mama.
is.
It will all be jumbled. You'll have to take what you want out of it. Okay, I want to say I have bought into Ash Mofara's vision,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm a sharer. I've shared it amongst few
Ah,
people.
Love that word, sharer.
that's good.
Yeah.
Love that.
And I'm engaged.
Yes.
I'm on
Yes.
a journey. I've been on the journey, and I believe in it. I don't know the last part, what you say.
The last part is example like our sister Yvonne said, I don't tell lies about ONPASSIVE. A lie. So say something about you and how it relates to ONPASSIVE that you don't do, that is a lie.
Hello.
Yes, Pastor Paul,
Pastor
one
Paul,
moment, let
finish
Mama
it.
Edith finish.
Oh, you can finish it for me. I am so, how do I put it? I don't tell what I don't understand about ONPASSIVE. I only relay what I have been, or I have read at the back office or said by the Mr. Mafara. That's what
Mama,
I am believing at the
Very
moment.
good. Very good.
very good, very
Yes.
good. You got it. Yes.
Yes. Yes. Queen Kanla, I have a response from Queen Nancy Judy in here. She says, okay, I'm a leader and I'm a follower and I'm very patient. This is her contribution.
Okay, I hear leader,
Yeah.
patient.
And she says follower. So, but the other part is not done. So I'm waiting for that. If I see that, I will bring it to you.
Okay, good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes.
All right, Pastor Paul, please.
Yes, I have made founder, a proud one for that matter. Since 2020, and I have been passionately motivating a lot of people to be following, because I understood the concept and the activities and the prospects of ONPASSIVE. Then in last year, when ONPASSIVE launched and we were supposed to activate, I pulled a lot of people, telling them until they activate, they will never have hope. And sometimes a lot of them are coming back to me that they just activated because of my sweet mouth. If not, they would have used the money for something else. But then at the end of the day, that is not lie, is entirely the truth, because if they did not activate as a founder, you've not positioned yourself for any. So your journey, your prospect start from activating your own connect, because that is the only thing that will guarantee you, that will qualify you for earning if ONPASSIVE start every business. So in a real sense, I have not lied by motivating them to activate their own connect as the only surest way to position themselves for earning. So I have not lied. I have been telling them the truth, and all of them have understood that that is exactly what it means.
Wonderful. I like how you took that feedback and how you presented it, turned into motivation. It's not a lie, but then your members or your fellow ONPASSIVians, they were coming and assuming or presenting as if it's a lie. So thank you. Yes, I got the point. All right, Dr. Benny, I see you.
You bet. Season's greetings to my queens and kings around the globe, and happy Sunday. As you all know, when it comes to this allyship, not only within ONPASSIVE, but in any work environment, We are referring to the actions, the behavior, the anti-practice that leaders take to support, amplify, and advocate for others, most especially with individuals who don't belong to the same social identities as themselves. As you all know, I am the first lady, the first wife of ONPASSIVE, who will die with ONPASSIVE. I do not fake about ONPASSIVE. I do not tell affiliates that Dream Team is better than other webinars. ONPASSIVE is the best company in the world, and we have the best CEO in the world because he loves humanity. Guess what? I am committed to supporting and uplifting others within ONPASSIVE community. This reflects to the dedication to fostering a collaborative, inclusive environment where everyone feels valued and empowered to succeed. I am an advocate to growth, innovation, and mutual success. This will highlight the rules of Ally as someone who actively promotes share progress and innovation, ensuring that everyone benefits from the opportunities provided by ONPASSIVE. Thank you so much.
Wow. Thank you, Dr. Benny. You nailed it. You nailed it. Wow. So far, I wrote down a couple of words, which I just want to read back. I got a woman. We have a woman of vision that is carrying on our ONPASSIVE vision as created by our CEO, committed, engage, support, believe, the process, bought into the vision, journey, leader, patient, founder, passionate, followers, die with ONPASSIVE, the best CEO, inclusive, advocate, motivation. These words are all correct when we talk of allyship. These words are all inclusive of what means to be an ally. And so with these words, you are going to hear me use them as we move forward in different ways, trying to describe allyship, the types, and intentional allyship. So now you can already see that you even know these things. You know these words. You are aware. But the hope is that with this concept now being brought into perspective, we can all bring it full circle holistically, and as ONPASSIVians and business owning our ONPASSIVE business, we will be able to be true allies to ONPASSIVE, and we will be able to be true allies supporting our CEO as well. So this slide is for those who were not here during the last presentation. We talked about the 7 different roles that you can play as an ally. We talked about the confidant, we talked about the upstander, we talked about the amplifier, we talked about the advocate. We also talked about the champion, we talked about the scholar, we talked about the sponsor. And looking at all of these different ways that we can all be allies, we realize that from the ice-breaking activities that we have done, one or some, a combination of these words make up part of one of the different types of ally, which means we are already putting that into perspective. And so the fact that we are already doing that, this will help us narrow down and be more intentional with the one that brings out the best in us. It is okay for you to be more than 1, 2, 3, but which one really brings out the best in you? And not only that, at work, in our business, it is thanks to ONPASSIVE that we are here. How do we want to look at it? Internally, externally. You want to support your colleagues. You want to support each other. You want to support your team. You want to support those around you that you know that they are marginalized, and you want to help promote that inclusion, equity, and fair treatment in the workplace. Let's use an example in the house where, as siblings, I do remember my brother was my best person in the house. Interestingly, I had my sister, but my brother was my best. And so I tended to do things with them more. But eventually, as I become older, into primary school, of course, I became more closer with my sisters instead of my brothers. So in that case, who do you think in a family setting, someone you're more familiar to? So the tendency is that you would advocate for them more, and you will not pay attention to the plight. You will not pay attention to the person that you do not ally with them. Not because it is something that they have done, but that is sometimes it comes due to our diversity, our backgrounds, our shared experiences. And so for us to be able to come to the realization that, oh, okay, this can be better, then we need to realize that this is a lifelong process. It is a journey. It is an ongoing process. You work with each other. You make it better. You grow from one level to another, just as you grow within your family system. From a child to from a toddler, you go to school. From school, you go to middle school, elementary, high school, university. You grow from a toddler to a teenager and then to an adult. An ongoing process. And in each of those, our personal life experiences, what happens is that we create allies in our lives. Same thing when we become adult in our workplaces, we create allies, allyship, the different types, and that will be shaped by your personal experiences. And so for us in ONPASSIVE, inclusive, intentional, positive, conscious actions within our businesses. Some of us started as co-founders. Some of us started as co-founders. Some of us started as affiliates. Some of us are users. But all of us are under this one umbrella, ONPASSIVE. But there is one thing that we want to make it intentional. We are ONPASSIVE. And what does that mean? We are all under the umbrella of the mission, the vision of our CEO, ONPASSIVE, to uplift humanity, to bridge the gap between the rich and the wealthy, using our products, using the services, us as members, to transform the world in our lives, beginning with us, our communities, and globally. This is where inclusion meets action. And when we look at our CEO, all his actions meets the definition of ally, an advocate, a confidant. All, if not most, of the different types or the different roles that an ally can be. And he is constantly on a journey to build that more inclusive, ONPASSIVE workplace. We may be thinking because we are meeting virtually, it doesn't seem like a physical workplace, but this is our workplace. This is our business. So it is our workplace, and so it is considered our workplace. And so our voices should be made heard. What can you do to be an intentional ally? We look at it from the perspective of being a journey. Whether you came in as Go founder, whether you came in as O founder, whether you came in as affiliate and now you're a user, but you intend to become an affiliate, or your generation will be users and affiliates. It's going to be a journey. What can you do to be an intentional ally? You practice allyship. You practice support. You practice commitment. You practice belief in the process. You practice the journey. You practice being a passionate ally. You practice putting on the best practices of what our CEO says. Be patient. And you help others to advocate. You lead others who need the leadership. You learn by researching, knowing about your business, and being able to teach others. You support. No support is small. Sometimes if it means yelling, set them straight, it's what we call tough love. Do it because you're doing something good. Help when help is needed. Invite them. Let them come in for those that are not yet in, or for those that do not even have an idea, but you see that it is something good. I do recall when everyone was still so excited and coming into ONPASSIVE. Oh yes, we were sending our invitations out there. But at that time, we were all laser focused on, oh, ONPASSIVE. This is good, but that was actually the action we were taking at that time. That action of invite was actually being an ally from the beginning, from the onset. Prepare. We have been preparing from our mindset, all our webinars, all the different webinars. We have been preparing and we continue to prepare. Join me is same with invite. You actually take someone by the hand, hold them, say, come, join me. See what I do what I do, help them. And be prepared to be uncomfortable sometimes. When they don't see, when they don't understand what the mission, the vision is. Our sister Queen Lorato talked about during the mindset, your why. Define your why. Execute. Take accountability. That in itself is being intentional. When you do those, you are being intentional with your ONPASSIVE business, with your workplace, with your life. And so every action that we take will affect real, tangible change that we want. And so the journey continues. And sometimes it comes in a form of privileges. I know we hear the word privilege, we may think, all right, privilege simply means monetary. No, privilege does not only mean money or when you're wealthy. There are certain things we are privileged, but we do not even realize that we are privileged. But when you have something, when you are blessed with something more than somebody else and you feel you have enough or more than enough, that is a privilege. If you find yourself in a position where you have more than enough and you can help and support others, yes. Do you take a minute to try to understand that that is a privilege you have? And you can use that as an opportunity. Be an ally and help the next person. Do you get curious? And you just need to start only with one act. That is all. So our next slide simply just tells us more what does intentional business allyship simply means. We have already talked about them. We talked about celebrating diversity, being supportive. In all of this listed, you will realize that all the things we had answered with I am or a lie, it will fit in each of these. So yes, whether we are aware of it or not, we are already practicing intentional business allyship with each other as a team, as a company, as a whole. When we go to different webinars, we're celebrating diversities. We develop inclusive policies that from the corporate office. Our CEO has very inclusive policies, all globally. Otherwise, ONPASSIVE will not be a global company as it is right now, with all the different offices around the world. It's a safe space for us all because we are able to have positive and welcoming atmosphere. It's exemplified in what we do every time in our different webinars. We need to learn to develop anti-discriminatory policies. This is our business. We've seen our CEO fight for us. All the negative information that is out there about the company, about the process, about the philosophy, the vision, the mission, the misunderstanding, everything that is out there, we see him fighting. This is our own business, and we as allies, we need to continue doing that, create that space and develop an atmosphere, an environment where those anti-discrimination policies through our actions will not exist. We focus on positivity. An inclusive language. This will be very interesting. How many of us have ever thought why we use the ONPASSIVE language constantly when we're talking about our business? Why can't we just use any other language in describing ONPASSIVE? We use words such as go founder, or founder, affiliate, or some quotes from our CEO. We are in it to win it. See you at the top, because that is being intentional. It is a language, vocabulary that is specific to ONPASSIVE and used from the CEO to each of us. And so I want to encourage us all to be able to be aware that it is part of being intentional as a business. As ONPASSIVE, we identify our unconscious biases. We elaborated the last time on this because sometimes it comes across without us even knowing it because of our shared experiences and our backgrounds. We need to recognize them as well. Then we celebrate employee differences. In this case, we celebrate our differences, our diversity. I come from Cameroon. We have Nigerians. Pastor P is there in Nigeria with joining the webinar. We have our other kings and queens from India. They are right here. We are celebrating that employee differences, though we are not employees of ONPASSIVE, but our workplace is ONPASSIVE and we are business owners. We are part of ONPASSIVE as affiliates. It is our businesses. And then we want to avoid being performance allyship. We talked about performance allyship, where everything you do is just you are just performing. You're not actually concentrating on what needs to be done. You are not being an advocate. You are not being a confidant. You are just being superficial, thinking that perhaps nobody is seeing what you're doing. No, we see what you're doing if your actions are performance oriented. Avoid being that, and your intentionality as an ally will come across flawlessly. That leads us to our next icebreaker, which again, in another way, is self-reflection. If we can just select one of each of these questions and answer, give an answer, either respond to the chat or raise your hand and give an answer. We have 1, 2, 3, I think about 8, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 questions. A variety. Someone may answer one, the other person answers another. So please, I would like to hear what your responses is as being intentional as an ally, whether you are confident, whether you are advocate, whether you are scholar, but your intentionality in your business ONPASSIVE.
Are you waiting on us, sister, or are you giving us time? What are you doing?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, that was waiting on us.
Yes. So I guess we can start whenever we're ready. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, please.
Okay.
One person have to answer all these questions?
No, pick one, she says.
Pick one.
Sorry. So now I just failed the first one.
Pick one. The one
Actively
you know that
listen.
you've done.
I just failed the first one. Then so what is the one way you have actively listened to?
Yeah, it's just the patience.
My goodness. Okay. All right. You caught me there. I failed the actively listen, I guess. I was just like, when you were reading the question, my head was like, all these questions I have to answer. Okay. All right, guys, this is interactive. Read the question, select your own. Put your answer in the chat. Raise your hand. It would be nice to hear your voice. Sister Yvonne,
Okay.
Dr.
Yes,
Bali.
yes,
Are these
yes.
answers
Yes.
in relation to your current job, or is it in relation to us being employees of ONPASSIVE?
I guess it could be both, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
It mirrors both, but our intentionality is our ONPASSIVE business. But since we cannot separate self or work from the business, so yes, it's applicable.
Okay.
Okay, Dr. Sister Kanla, I will start.
Okay.
So I break the ice. I will try to answer the one that said, can you share a positive experience where you witness someone actively practicing allyship? Yes. There's so many from Deep Dive and Dream Team. I'm not picking this because I'm the sister webinar, and I'll tell you why. I've seen Dr. Derek stand for hours, help somebody migrate, for example. And I know Mama Eddie is here, and Dr. Derek is like, nobody's too old. And he'll sit there patiently, walk them out, one step to another. Say, click here, okay, click there, okay. So make them do it themselves, because he wanted to empower them, not just like, I will do it for you, right? I've seen us being here for 10 hours during migration to do that. For me, that was really somebody really, really
Yes.
possibly, that was a positive experience for me, that I witnessed somebody actively being a
Absolutely.
partner
Mm-hmm.
to the other ONPASSIVE brand ambassador,
Mm-hmm.
by making sure their accounts were okay, they have the right information, their password, the patient.
Mm-hmm.
Me was just a positive experience. Because I was like,
Absolutely.
wow, we take one case for 1 hour. Like, what is this? Before I experience that, me patient want to go fast, right? But that taught me to be patient. And yes, that's one of the ones that I've experienced.
Yes, great.
Thank you so much for that inspiring.
Yeah, and let me just expand. And this is you doing it for a brand ambassador. It's not somebody that you invited to ONPASSIVE. It's not somebody you know who invited them to ONPASSIVE. It was just like, I am doing it for the community of ONPASSIVE. So that's why I really want to really add that. It's not like, oh, I did not bring you, go and find. No, it was like, this is the community, this is the family, ONPASSIVE family, and we're going to win together. So that was done just because you are an ONPASSIVE, and not because I know who you are. So that for me was very positive. Thank you.
Yes, very much.
And I just want to
you so
support
much.
that, please.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm looking at that question, and I just look at the next one down on it that says, how can we as a group support each other in becoming better allies? I mean, that just in support of what Dr. P just said. I remember when this dream team will go 10 hours a day helping people, from all over, 10 hours. I mean, I just wanted to add, because what Dr. P said just continues with that. So what Dr. D was doing and what this dream team, I mean, all of us could not really do it, especially some of us that were working, but they were here 10 hours, Monday through Sunday, 7 days, 10 hours, 7 days a week, helping each other, becoming, migrating, and that was awesome. I just wanted to add that.
Thank you, Queen Sister Irene. That was such a powerful inspiring feedback. Yes. Queen Lily Lane, noted. So we have 2 responses for the last 2 answers. So over to you, Queen Lily Lane.
Okay, I would want to talk about I don't know the numbers. Let me count them. The ones that says, tell us about a time you use your privilege to uplift someone else's. And that's number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Number 6 down.
Yes. Yes.
And haven't done a lot with ONPASSIVE, and people still have their doubts. But I want to talk about a situation when I was working. And there are many, but I just want to talk about one.
Yes.
I had an employee to retire. And about a week, maybe a week and a half after she retired, the government came out with an offer that it was just awful for her to have retired and did not take advantage of this opportunity because she had left. So what I did, I brought her out of retirement, put her back in the workforce, and let her stay there about 2 months so that she could take advantage of this awesome opportunity that it was a financial opportunity. They were paying people to leave. And that was that was one of the things that I did that uplifted her And she just couldn't believe that I would do something like that. You know how people say, you do that for me, you do that for me. I said, no, I'm not doing it for you. I'm doing it for myself. But she's the one who got it. So that's one situation. Another situation that I had when I was working is the fact that I set up an interview for a young lady. Well, I set up several for several people, but this young lady came to the interview with two babies, two small kids, hair, flip-flops on, and hair rollers in her hair. And I thought, I can't believe this. I got to follow this through. So I said to her, are you here for the interview? And my secretary brought her to the office, and I thought they both had made a mistake. And I said, are you here for an interview? And she said, yes, I'm here for an interview. So I said, well, I tell you what I'm going to do. We're not going to go through the interview today, but I have some questions I want to ask you. Do you think that you could, I say, I would like to set up another interview with you if you think that you could find someone to keep the kids, because I don't want you to get distracted with the things that we're going to talk about. I say, and if it costs anything, I'll pay it. I'll pay for a babysitter to keep the two kids for you. And she said, no, you don't have to pay. I can get my mama to keep the babies. I said, okay, very good. I said, now what about shoes? I need to buy you a pair of shoes that you can wear. No, ma'am, I got some shoes. I thought, well, what is this am I dealing with? And then I said, now your hair in hair rollers, so I'm assuming when you take the rollers out, it's going to be beautiful. She said, yes, ma'am, it's going to look nice. So I said, okay, so can we agree? And I said it like a week later. She came back to the interview looking like a different person. And I use it as a learning experience for me to see, what am I dealing with? Is this real? So I hired her. Because I wanted to take it to the fullest. I just wanted to see what I was dealing with. And she said to me when I hired her, she said, maybe that's why nobody would ever hire me. I couldn't believe it. But anyway, long story short, hired her, became a very good employee. In fact, when I left that particular job, I left her there still doing a good job. So those are my two things where I lifted someone up because of the privilege that I had. Thank you.
Thank you. Wow.
Wow.
See,
I always feel that I learned a lot from Queen Lily.
Yes.
Every time
Yes.
I know you have a bucket list of things that when you share, I'm like, wow, people still live that, act like that.
That's right.
I'm blessed to know you.
Yes, indeed.
I was shocked because I couldn't believe that nobody knew better than that. I could not believe it.
Yeah, but when you don't know, you don't know.
That's exactly how I took it. I said, I'm going to take this as she does not know, and I'm going to counsel her. I'm going to interview, but I'm going to be counseling her at the same time.
Absolutely. Thank you. That was great. Very great.
That was great sharing.
Very much so.
Yes. Queen Dr. Benny.
All right. I have this one called, to discriminate. As you guys know, I can't stand that. But anyway, if you see someone being excluded or discriminate against, what steps will you take to intervene? All right. Let me tell you. Whew. Well, the first thing is that I will assess the situation calmly, right? I will observe what is happening without making assumption. I will determine if the exclusion or discrimination is intentional or unintentional. I will also ensure that intervening will not escalate situation or put anyone at risk. The next thing is, I will also address the behavior immediately. How? I will speak up calmly and assertively to call out the exclusion or discrimination. So an example is, I will notice, a lot of things have been happening. within this company and others. But I would think it is important that we include everyone and treat each other respectfully. What I would do is that I will avoid blaming or shaming. Instead of what I would do, I will also focus on constructive communication. As you all know, in any relationship, even at your work site, at work, or anything, communication is the key. Another thing is to support exclusive or excluded individual. So I will show empathy and validate their feelings. An example is that I saw what happened, and I want you to know that it wasn't okay. So how can I support you? Now help them. What I will do is that I will help them feel valued, included in what the environment as well as conversation. I'm not going to take your time, but let me give you one more. I will encourage inclusive practices by facilitating opportunities for everyone to contribute. I will also suggest actions to correct the exclusion, such as revisiting decision or inviting the excluded person to participate. I have more, but I will be quiet at this moment.
Oh, wow. It looks like you were just reading into my summary. That is the actions of a true ally. That is what you do. You stand up for someone whom you see is being discriminated upon. Right there when the action is taking place, not later. Because when you wait and you come back later, the impact or the change may not be the same at that moment. So you are absolutely right. I love that. And just to go back and piggyback on the question regarding a one time you use your privilege to uplift someone else's voice. I am hoping that we all think, all of us, when ONPASSIVE started our journey, how was it like? All of us, what were we tasked to do? And how did we use it from that beginning to uplift someone in our lives? I believe each of us will have at least a word, a sentence, a statement to make from the beginning. But while I leave you with that thought in mind, I see Sister Debbie. Yes, your hand is raised. And then Sister Yvonne, after Sister Debbie, you can tell us if you have some answers in the chat or not.
Oh,
yes, Sister Debbie.
Queen Kanla, oh my goodness, you are really breaking the ice and making it so interactive that for the first time I think I can chime in, because you've been presenting and I've just been running around like a headless chicken, but today I am staying put. And this is so unique, I cannot be quiet. I see, wow, educate yourself. You have so much here. I've been through a lot of them in different places, under different scenarios.
Yes, it is.
And I've experienced a little bit of it in places where I would not name, but the main one I wanted to share is in one of my past lives, which I have also experienced somewhere in our company, but at a different level. Not being able, I was in a position where I knew everything that was happening in individuals where, it was let me just say it outright. It was an interview and I was part of the panel, and you could actually see who the qualified candidates are, but you are part of a panel, and that it went from one phase to the next, and the next one I was ex officio, so you know what that means.
Yes.
So finally, the person that was hired was not qualified for the position, and I was playing. I had two hats, and I had to prepare the offer of appointment, and I declined to do it, and I justified why. And the chief of administration had to say, "Come to me. I need to have a one-on-one talk with you." And I justified all the reasons why. And I said, "Okay, you tell me," and I put all the evidence behind. And there was some talk in the background which filtered to my ears, and the people did not know it did filter to my ears, but I pretended I did not hear. So I worked as if I did not hear that. So it was an issue of discrimination outrightly, not because the candidate was not qualified. So for that reason, not only did they end up, because I voiced myself and justified why I would not accept, but that individual was hired, and that individual ended up hiring the person who should have been hired in their position. Honestly, because it was a very high position, and they wanted the role reversal for that whatever. But this person did not even know. It was afterwards that we were in different situations, and that this conversation came up and said, "Oh, I wish I could find the person who actually fought to get me hired." And then all this came out. But just what goes around comes around one way or another. And before we know it, somebody is rewarded for something they do not deserve. And the ones who deserve it do not get it. And I got her to be responsible for a startup group that I started. And by the time I left, that group had really grown. And she was now responsible. And my vision is still ongoing with the group that I left behind. So it is something to say, I do not only empower one person, but an entire group, an entire community, which is still flourishing. That is something which I hope, I cannot say I have it in ONPASSIVE. I'm hoping when we start rolling, we can find allies who are of the same mindset as my sister said earlier. And you bring people who are of the same mindset, and you're all working towards the same goal, just to make sure that everybody's life is improved and they think differently. Because you have people who are always thinking negative, but once you show them that instead of thinking negative, you can do things and reverse, and that positivity will not only enhance your life, but the life of those who you have touched and will be touching in the future. Thank you, Queen Kanla. Thank you.
Wonderful.
You're bringing the best out in everybody. You're making me talk, and I usually don't like to talk. Thank you so much.
That was so inspiring, Queen Sister Debbie. Oh my goodness. Yes, yes, absolutely. I am so happy, and myself, I have had a similar experience, and thank you for sharing that with all of us all. Yes, Brother Allen, I see your hand is raised. Yes, yes, Brother Allen got inspired. Please, over to you. Let us hear
Hi,
from you.
can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, I'm doing the third one. Can you share time you challenge a bias statement or action? One of the ladies I got involved in on passive is very skeptical and very dubious of it's going to start, and she wants to try and get rid of her position. So I said to her, don't do that. It's going to start in short. I was hoping for December, but I said in the next couple of months it will start, and you'll be very happy that you waited and stayed in. That's one of the things where she's not happy with what she doesn't follow what's going on. She's not engaged very much. I send her stuff occasionally, but she's still not very happy with what's going on. So hopefully she'll will start in the new year. She's going to wait till the end of the year and is going to try and get rid of her position, but she doesn't know she can't get rid of it. So I said to her when she activated her Connect, that if not, this year I'd buy the position back. You know, but at the moment, I said I don't have the money to do that because things have changed in my working life as well. And now I just have to hang on. So hopefully we'll start in the early next month and things will start looking much happier for everybody.
Wow. That was amazing. Again, another way that we can see that each of us has something, that potential. There is that allyship in all of us. And you just need to identify it when a situation arises or when the opportunity arises. Whether it is at your workplace, whether it's in your personal life, or whether it is at home, it is in you already. As a human being, we are social beings. It is right there. Yeah. But the choice or the decision, whether you use it or not, is up to us. Thank you, Brother Allen. And Sister Yvonne, is there anything in the chat?
Sister Benny has made a comment here, and then after that, if no one is raising their hands or anymore, I'd like to add my 2 cents, please. So yes, Dr. Benny, she has written, report or escalate if necessary. If the behavior persists or is part of a larger pattern, report it to a supervisor, HR, or the appropriate authority. Follow organizational protocols to ensure accountability, educate and advocate. Promote awareness about the importance of inclusion and respect. And where did it go? I just lost it here. Okay. Where did I? Encourage discussions or training to prevent future instances of exclusion or discrimination. Intervening shows a commitment to fostering a positive, inclusive environment where everyone is respected and valued. Of course.
Absolutely. Yes, that is so true. Thank you, Dr. Benny. Yes.
Yeah, so the question is, which social issue you said single, but I mean, there are many, are you currently learning more about and why? So the two I'm looking at right at the moment is GBV, gender-based violence, and the situation with the refugees, because I didn't know much about that, but now it seems to be coming to the forefront for some reason. We have some associations in Canada here, which I'm being a part of in just not a monetary way. I don't have it right now, but just support, writing or something like that. So I'm doing that. So that's where I'm focused, especially on the refugee situation, because I didn't realize that there are so many people who are refugees and they're actually coming to our shores right here. So you need to know more about that and how you can be part of that, right?
Yes.
And some of the webinars that I go to, there are many people who would, so the next one is about the privilege. And I consider being as first language as English-speaking person, it's a good privilege because it's quite popular in the world, English language, right? And there are many people who have many things that they would like to contribute, but they also retiring about it. They're shrinking because they say they don't like their accent or they don't say the words correctly. And I'm thinking, we all have different accents. So that is my focus right now, to get people to speak up and share their ideas, because this is what ONPASSIVE is built on. The ethos of ONPASSIVE is inclusivity. It doesn't matter about accents, right? It does not, and it should not. And so if we can all do that for one another, because we don't want that to be a barrier for somebody sharing brilliance and letting their light shine, as Martha DeCarmo says. So those are some of the things that I'm looking at working with Sister Kanla.
And how amazing that you can tie those social issues back to your own independent, your mission.
Yep.
When the apple starts falling, Imagine what you will be able to do back to give back into that community. This is the time for us to be able to identify or get involved into those social issues that we care about, that are so close to our hearts. And then when our ONPASSIVE rolls on, the apples keep calling, we already have something in hand and we just keep on marching. So for those of us who have not yet identified what they would want to do, please, this is a reminder that get your own social issue, your own mission. I know Dr. Benny is so, excited about children's health care. I know Sister P is has also something about water, healthcare. Mama Debbie also has something about water. I am so passionate about water as well as environment, because in my area where I come from, the eucalyptus tree is absorbing, making the land dry. Those are some of our projects. So you can identify your own social issue, whether it's criminal justice or whether you're going at the level of the society. Do that and be able to connect it. Connect it so that when your apples start falling, you can be able to reach out and uplift many more within your community. Of course, beginning with your family.
And you know, use the so-called waiting period, which is what some people are saying, as preparation time. And in ONPASSIVE, there are so many groups. If you don't have any inspiration of your own, just pop in for a little while and see what they're doing and see if that would align with your goals and what, you know, what your feelings are about the worldview that you would want, because everybody has something that they can want to support. And ONPASSIVE is the means to do that. So let's call it preparation time. I like that term better.
Yes. Absolutely. So thank you. Thank you, sis. All right. Any other in the chat? We have 1, 2, 3 more that has not been attempted, but you don't have to answer all of them today. But this will be something for us to go back, look at them, and try to reflect on them upon yourself and others that you can reach out to. But what I wanted to, if there is nothing more in the chat.
There's nothing, sister.
Yes. I want to go back to tell us about a time you used your privilege to uplift someone else's voice. If all of us can imagine when we were also excited about ONPASSIVE.
Can I share on that one?
So, that when we talk of, yes, Dr. P, I will pass it on to you, but I want us to relieve that excitement, that opportunity. That is what we talk about, using your privilege to uplift others, because I don't think we value enough how much our ONPASSIVE is a privilege to us, which is not to so many out there around us, including those that may not understand or are full of negativity about it right now. So over to you, Dr. Pat.
Oh, you just brought that one again. I thought you wanted us to add on what Queen Lily said, right? I think I was like Queen Lily, I don't know how to put it, but I've been privileged to be in a situation to give family an opportunity to relocate here in the US. Family that I did not know, but I just knew somebody that knew them. And the person that knew them reached out to me that this family has won the lottery and they don't have anybody to sign the affidavits for them to relocate. And without blinking or even thinking, I said, oh, no problem. Let them know. My African mentality, the house is never small. We have air mattresses, we have floor space. If they're willing to come and we all mingle, then we're here. My husband and I are here to do what we can do. And what people don't understand is that it's not only writing that affidavits when somebody is relocating to a foreign land that they don't have anything. Remember, they're not coming to any job and so on. You have to help them settle. You start carrying them one place to another. You have to fit in your work, and you have to take some of your time off work, your vacation time, and use it to settle them, because you have to take them to all these places before they eventually settle. So it's a bigger commitment than just signing an affidavit of support. And as you said, once you do something and uplift somebody, as Queen Lily said, I was doing it for me, not for you. You actually do it for yourself. Because giving is more fulfilling than receiving. And the other one was a family that was going homeless. I just met this young guy, lost his father, and I don't know what was happening. It was hired at work, and I just decided to just like engage him in conversation, because it just reminded me of my young son. And he just shared that his father's passed. The funeral was the next week. I said, I will be there. And after the funeral, I said, how are you guys doing? So, we're about to lose our home. But, again, without thinking, I reached out to my husband, poor guy. I have to pull him in every craziness. And I will tell you that at least they are still in their home. So that is what you do to really uplift people. It's very fulfilling sometimes. And sometimes you don't think about it until things like this come and they start reflecting. For me, I don't even remember. Then something like this type of interact session, I'm like, what have I really done to uplift anybody? And then you start realizing that you have done something. And it's fulfilling when you help people.
Yeah.
That's it. Or just that's a few of share.
Yeah.
There's a bucket list, but if you're privileged, please don't trample on people. Instead, help people.
Yes.
As I say, as you're going up, you don't know who you meet on your way down.
Yes.
Because everything that goes up, law of gravity will come down.
Yes.
And on your way down, what somebody shared that, what is the saying? But what I understood is, when they talk about legacy, somebody's like, what does that mean? But I have seen situation that somebody's last name opened doors for him.
Yes.
Not because what? They say, this name, are you XYZ X child? XYZ X child? Yeah. Oh my goodness, this is what your parents did for me. Oh my God. And doors just open.
Yes.
A good name is better than.
You're right.
What was the saying? So I just said I should share. I'll keep it there. But yeah, that particular question is something we should all reflect on. And if we really look at it in the motto of ONPASSIVE, let's take it to ONPASSIVE. What is one of the ONPASSIVE culture? Uplifting humanity.
Uplift humanity.
So how can you do that if you don't take your position? And as you said, Sister Kanla, our position as brand ambassador, our positions as founders, will give us that privilege. That's the goal, right? That's the aim. That's the vision of our CEO, Mr. Ash Mufaro. That position will give you that privilege that you can uplift humanity. So if you have that privilege, I don't do it. Then I don't know what your plans of being a member or a family member of ONPASSIVE is. Let me stop there. I don't want to get into that part. That's why I didn't answer that question, because we can go on and on and on. Thank you.
Thank you, Sister Patient. I really appreciate that, because you're right. Sometimes you don't even remember the things that you've done, right? Because that question is very loaded. And it goes back to also what Sister Loretta talked about, the privilege, the perception that we have. We don't, and Sister Kanla also mentioned, we don't really sometimes understand the privilege that it is to be in ONPASSIVE in where we are. And so we really have a lot of uplifting to do, don't we?
Yes,
Yeah.
we do. We do. And so I will leave the rest of the other questions for us to take the time when we go, we think about it. But again, it all comes full circle when we think about our ONPASSIVE. Where can you improve? Each of us has one thing that we can improve on in being a better ally, and expand on the different roles that we can take as an ally.
Yes.
To fellow ONPASSIVian, and as well as a powerful team with our CEO. And then whenever you see bias, whether unconsciously or consciously, we stand up as an ally, because when we do all of that together, then all of us move forward. So, I mean, this is just a visual, a pictorial image of us as allies. Together, we hold each other, we move together, hand in hand, climbing up. It's a journey. And all of us, we can only make it when all of us go through it together. I mean, I know, Sister P, you love this saying that it is said, if you want to win, if you go alone, then you will not go far. But if you go with everybody or as a team, you will go far. That may not be exactly how the quote goes, but it sounds something like that. Again, this is just another vision of telling you what the journey of being an ally is. Keep asking yourself, what is an ally? Am I? Am I to my team? Am I to the dream team? Am I to deep dive? Am I to 360? Pastor Paul is always there. We all are together. Yes, we are. How does it feel to be a member? How does it feel when you are in there and then you also stand up for someone who is not of that group? You ask questions, you listen, you show up, and you speak up. And when we do that, it becomes an ongoing journey. It becomes an ongoing process. And this is also 100% relatable in our lives, in what we do every day, every moment. Yes, what we do at work is a reflection of what the type of allyship we have in our personal lives. And one cannot be without the other. And so with that, I hope this awareness, this educational information is going to help each of us be a more better ally, or more better support, a more better person to ourselves, to our business as ONPASSIVE, to our platforms, each one that we are, and to ONPASSIVE as a company, and of course, to our CEO. So through the lens of allyship, I really do hope that we can begin the new year looking at all what our CEO, Mr. Ash, is doing for the company, ONPASSIVE, for himself and for us. And we can be able to ask these questions to ourselves, speak up, listen, and act, so that 2025, we can be even better allies with our business, with our CEO, and with each other. Thank you so much for listening. That is the end of the conversation. Over to you, to the moderators.
Oh, you're wearing both hats today.
Oh my goodness. I'm talking on mute that as well.
Okay, good.
Wow. Anyway, before Queen Irene and Queen Debbie comes, it all started with the mindset from our sister Levato, right? If you look at that mindset, she pushed intentionality. You have to be intentional on how you start your day, intentional on your mindset, intentional on what you want to do, intentional on your goals, but the what? And celebrate the little the milestones in between. And we just went into intentional allyship. I don't know. This dream team, sometimes I don't know whether it's ordained because the mindset tends to just go with the presentation, like people talk together, and I know we don't talk together. Thank you both. Let me tell you, if you look at the house went a little bit quiet because I think some core was touched. Some things were touched right down into our core. And hopefully we'll take this, reflect on it. The first question was self-reflection, right? And say, how are we going to be intentional in 2025 if we weren't in 2024? So we thank God all of us are here to see the end of this year. And God willing, all of us will be in 2025 in the land of the living to come in and be intentional as we support the group and as we support our individuals, as we support the vision to move forward. Thank you. Over to you, Queen Irene and Sister Debbie, please. All right. If not, I'm going to pass it over to Team Q and D. Dr. Benny, Sister Yvonne, maybe you can see whether anybody has any question or have anything to share. We know our CEO hasn't come out. And then King Derek is on the road. I see he's been trying to come in and out. His Wi-Fi is very weak on the road today. So there's no really update. So we always look forward to update the Dream Steve style. But I'm going to pass it over to the question discussion team. And I see Queen Irene, go over to you before we pass it over then.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I was a little distracted by Grandma sitting by me here, and I had to get her something. Queen Kanla, this is like a real life situation webinar. We really look forward to more of these series because we are learning. These are things that we experience, not only not talking about ONPASSIVE, even at our current job sites. So I'm happy that I'm learning here, and I'm going to try to implement some of these things that I'm learning from this webinar. And I'm sure there are other people here who will do the same because this is really good. Thank you very much. This is what ONPASSIVE is all about. These are things that you will pay money to go to school to learn, and we're just getting it here for free in a comfortable environment, just being at home, just getting it. I hope everybody is gleaning into this. I was listening to Queen Lily, and I think at some point, well, I probably was muted. I was going, wow. Yeah. Or even like one of the things that Dr. P said, somebody got a job because of their last name. Yes, I have seen that too. And somebody just saw somebody that applied for a job and just that last name. They're like, what? And this is somebody that was helped by a nurse. And that nurse helped this person so much, helped this person's mother, not even the person, but helped her mom when she was really sick in the hospital. And when this girl showed up and that last name popped up, this lady is like, well, I never had the opportunity to say thank you to your mother, but I'm going to show thank you to you. So these are some of the things that are real life situations. So thank you very much. And even if the apples don't start falling now, there's a lot that we are already learning before we get to start getting the apples. All right, like Dr. P said, we're gonna move over to the Q&D team, because I'm sure there are a lot of people here who would like to express themselves or share, their feelings going through this webinar today. So Q&D team, over to you.
All right, I believe we just have to introduce ourselves at the moment. Queen Yvonne Finn, could you please proceed?
Thank you, Dr. Bennett. My name is Yvonne Finn. I'm residing in Canada and I look after the chat. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you. I believe it's just you and I. My name is D. Benny. D. Benny is my name. And I reside in Chevy Chase, Maryland, United States of America. I am a brand ambassador, a lover of ONPASSIVE, and someone who is willing to help each other, those who are in need, that we can walk hand in hand when it comes to the email, when it comes to logging into the ecosystem. I am here for you. We are here to work together as a team because that's what our CEO wanted. We are all family. ONPASSIVE is everything to all of us because of our Heavenly Father, because He brought each and everyone. He created you and I in His image. And guess what? The air that you are breathing at the moment, you have to thank Him. Because we have a lot of people out there begging, paying for this air, but you are not. When you woke up this morning, do you know that you were going to come here? No, because our Heavenly Father decided that, hey, Queen Lily Lane, you are here. We need you here. Pastor 360, Pastor Paul, Brother Carlton, Brother Naga. We need each and everyone here to love one another. Thank you so much. As you all know, with this amazing webinar, our presenter for today, Queen Kanla. You guys notice what she has done, right? She does everything. She works with each other. If Dr. Derek is not there, she will do the work. If Queen Irene, Queen Debbie is not there, she will do the work. If Queen Lerato is not there, she will do the work. Are you kidding me? Oh, come on now. Anyway, I just want to thank Queen Rose because she is doing what it takes to help all of us, right? Queen Lerato, thank you. I will say extraordinary mindset. We all love you and we miss you. Season's greetings to you. Season's greeting to each and everyone. We are alive today. I want to thank our moderation team. Thank you all for everything that you guys have been doing. You know, Queen Patient Ajongwe always said, you guys are the one holding this dream team. Queen Debbie McCormick, Queen Irene, thank you all. Our Queen, Dr. Pat, Dr. Patient Ajongwe, thank you for being the host for today and the host every Sunday. King Dr. Derek, I know you are passing by, but with all that you have been doing within this ONPASSIVE, you have helped a lot of people, but people don't know that. And I'm going to scream today. I know Dr. Derek does not want to hear that. When it came to this ONPASSIVE or migrating to the ecosystem, they were the one, the dream team started it. And then I noticed a lot of other webinars, they started doing it, but they did not know that it came from the dream team. I say it, I voice my mind, and no one can take it away from me. I love each and everyone. Now, based upon this presentation, I need you guys to write your questions on the chat or raise your hands electronically. And we are here, myself and Queen Yvonne Finn. We are here to assist you. Are you guys ready? Are you guys excited? Come on now. ONPASSIVE is everything. Despite the fact that, you know, well, as for me, I'll just say, let's be patient. Thank you all for listening. Raise your hands. Look at me. Raise your hands electronically or write your question in the chat. Thank you.
That background. Mm.
If
And
Queen
the
Ro-
Nene.
if Queen Rose, since Queen Rose is in today and YouTube was not firing live, so Queen Rose, are, are you in a position that you can just unmute and introduce yourself as well?
Okay. She was here as of
Yeah,
2:58. So.
yeah, she's here, but
Okay,
I
okay,
just want to
good.
make
All
sure.
right. All right.
Okay, once Queen Rose could raise can unmute herself and just introduce herself, we'll let her. But over to you, Queen Yvonne and Queen Penny, please.
Okay, so there are no questions in the chat, but there are lots of kudos to Queen Kanla, and so there should be. Queen
Rose,
Grace.
over to you.
Okay, she's in now? All right.
Yes, I think she unmuted herself.
Okay, good. All right.
Greetings to you all, my lovely family from around the world.
Greetings.
And thank you so very much for giving me this opportunity to come and say something, though I'm in a terrible headache. It has been a very, very, busy, long weekend for me from this side, from my end. But I'll be fine. I'll be fine. It's only that I'm talking to you right now with this terrible headache. And yes, we are waiting patiently, so patiently for the company that we love so much. And we really don't have doubts that this company will take off the ground. It will finally. We walked the journey that we walked for over 6 years. Some of us are over 6 years with the company. For me, I'm over 5 years and some couple of months with the company, and I've been, in meetings throughout. And yes, we can't wait. We can't wait, for all of us to reap the rewards of what we saw. Yes, we invested a lot of time, a lot of energy in the company, and we, our prayers unto the Lord for Mr. Eshmufar and his family, the workforce behind him, our prayers are ahead and they will be answered very soon. And I just want to say, I love you all, my brothers and sisters. And, the day will come when we physically meet, and that will be a day of, tears of joy. We will be, I can imagine the hugs, the kisses, the all sorts of things that will be during the day when we meet. And I just want to say, for now, let us keep on being patient, like the way we have been patient. We came a long way, with this company. It was an exciting journey. It was, a journey full of laughter, full of, how can I put it? At some point, we step on others, toes, but we are brothers and sisters. We sometimes come and say, sorry, apologies for what I have done. And let's keep on praying for our CEO and his workforce behind. And surely this is what we are looking forward to see, the company to take off the ground.
Yes.
I love you so much. This is for me from South Africa. Thank you so very much for the opportunity that I had to come and greet you even though you cannot, I'm not, showing my face, but I hope you once saw my face. And I know that one day I will be able again to show my face so that others who don't know me, they see me, facially. Thank you so very much, all. I love you so much. Bye for now.
Thank you. We appreciate you too. Thank you.
Oh my God.
That was my leader. That was my leader, guys.
Oh, really?
That's Mama
Yes.
Mama Eddie's leader. Queen Rose. Queen Rose is here every day, every weekend since January 2021 that the Dream Team was born. She has never not been here.
Lovely.
Real background worker.
Yes.
I'm glad that we could hear her voice again today. Thank you, Queen Rose.
Brother Solomon's hand is up. Did you see that, Queen Benny?
Oh, yes, I
Okay,
did.
good. Okay, good.
King Solomon. You guys know about King Solomon, right? Please. Could you please unmute yourself and share us your excitement, King Solomon?
Yeah, thank you very much, and good evening, everyone. So it's a lot of excitement going on here with so much expectation from our company, which we hope will come to pass soonest. But on a sad note, I've been trying to get the information across. We lost one of our family members who died in 2018. Just as I call his number, the son picked telling me that his father's son, but he's the only one that brought the ONPASSIVE.
I can't hear.
Hello?
Brother Solomon, maybe if you put your video off, so you can increase your bandwidth, please, because you're breaking. Just turn off the video and speak. Okay, go ahead.
Can you hear me now?
Much better.
100%.
Better.
Okay. Thank you. I'm saying greeting to everyone, and we are hopefully that our company will soon meet up to our expectation. So we hope very soon everybody will be smiling. But on a sad note, I want to convey an information about one of our founding members who joined ONPASSIVE since 2018. He just died. As I called his phone number, the son picked, informing me that the father is no more. So he's the one that introduced me to ONPASSIVE. He's the one that told me about the ONPASSIVE and convinced me to join. So I think we should be aware of his death. I don't know if there are any expectation from our company as they are preparing for the burial, or to ask more for us know about the death of one of his founding members. So these are what I want to inform us and know how to go about it. Thank you.
Brother Solomon, and please extend our sincere condolence to the family. Pastor Paul 360, and I don't know whether you can hear Brother Solomon. Brother Solomon, and ONPASSIVE as a company doesn't do that, but the ONPASSIVian communities have been coming together. So I don't know whether you know any of the community members in Nigeria and whether you're part of that community. So I don't know whether you're part of that community. Check with Pastor Paul how to become part of that community. Okay? But extend our sincere condolence to the family, please.
Yeah, okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Our sincere condolence, Brother Solomon. Thank you so much. And may his soul rest in perfect peace. He's no longer in pain. He's no longer in pain. You know, whenever we wake up in the morning, we have to search, try to find out, can we get money to pay our rent? So he's no longer paying rent.
Oh, Dr.
Serious.
Berry.
No. I mean, he is the one crying for you and I and say, hey, Brother Solomon, don't worry. Despite the fact that ONPASSIVE cannot really, or our CEO, contribute, but just like Dr. Pat said, when it comes to the forum that you belong, you can communicate with them and they can work things out. Thank you so much. Our condolence again.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Thank you, sir. Queen Yvonne Finn, do we have any?
No, there are no questions. There are a lot of kudos to Queen Kanla. Sister Grace says, Queen Kanla, that was very powerful and awesome. You have really uplifted us. Blessings to you, she says. And of course, Sister Rose also made compliments. Great presentation, Sister Kanla, job well done. And Sister Larata says, awesome presentation, Sister Kanla, and so on and so forth. Let's see. Wow. Yes. Wow, Queen. Dr. Patience, God bless your heart. That was for from Sister Grace for the contribution that was made by Dr. Patience. That's it, sister.
I really appreciate you. And I really want to thank each and everyone coming here. You guys love Dream Team, right? Is it because you guys love Dr. P or what?
They're coming because the first lady is here, please.
That's part of it. That's part of it.
First lady is here.
Thank you all. Seriously. But every day we need to thank our Heavenly Father for waking us in the morning. And I want you guys to tell your children that when they get up in the morning or when they are going to bed or when they are eating, just say, thank you, Father, for what you have done and what you will continue to do. Thank you, ONPASSIVE. But we have to thank our Heavenly Father for bringing Mr. Ash Mufare to all of us. You guys notice that he is really determined. And again, you guys also notice because a lot of people are complaining that, oh, we haven't seen Mr. Ash. I say, be quiet. He is working behind the scene at the moment. Let us just sit and relax. Go find a job while waiting for ONPASSIVE. Seriously, I say so. Now, I am going to hand it over to our moderation team. Thank you all.
Okay. Thank you all. What a wonderful webinar. But before I play the top, let's close the YouTube and stop recording because the top, because of proprietary reason, we cannot put it on our channels like that. I want to first of all thank you all for being here today. I'm wishing you all Merry or seasonal greetings, whatever you subscribe to. And I pray that the Almighty God will grant us the mercy to go into 2025. As we said here before, the mindset is very, very important. And that's why we actually take it serious. So I look at this period as a preparational period. And if you don't prepare your mind, money will just amplify where you are. It's not going to change you. Your mindset will change the way you operate. So we don't take that for granted. And I want to thank everybody, especially our Queen, Sister Lerato, that share the mindset on this platform. She's the main one, and we have the backup team. When she can't make it, they are there. We really, really thank you for blessing us. Sometimes we join ONPASSIVE, we're not thinking, but through this mindset, we have changed. And some of us actually formed a dream. We did not have a dream. We came here for selfish and self reasons. And we realized that it's not only about us. So with that said, there are some sisters platforms that take mindset seriously. We have Mindset Monday with Miriam Edwards at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You have a Deep Dive Globally Changing Live on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. On top of the mindset, you have Tuesday, they're telling us how to stay protected. We know the world is going digital and our data is money. Okay, so don't miss. Join our First Lady, Dibeni, on Tuesdays for that. And on Thursdays, they tend to really talk about health. Trust me, A wealthy man without health is not wealthy. I'm just telling you, that's the truth. You can't enjoy money on the bed, on your sick bed. So join them too on Thursday and see how you can keep yourself healthy going forward. On Wednesday, you have GDP Empowering Humanity at 8 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. I think because Christmas and New Year fall on Wednesday, I think the next time she'll come up will be 2025. And we have the Dream Team here on Sundays, 12:45 Eastern Daylight Time. And don't forget to join our sisters and brothers in All Passion Singapore, Malaysia, globally. If you go to that place, if you don't have any passion or any dream, please join them. You'll find one.
Yeah.
That is on Thursday, 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Yes.
And don't forget to join my sister here, Queen Yvonne, or the Evans, on One Global Movement daily Monday through Friday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thank you all, and I'll ask Queen Debbie to close the YouTube. Then we can stop recording and play on the top, or to the top, gifted to us by our own sister, Loretta Shedere. Over to you, Queen Debbie. Close YouTube, please.
Thank you very much, Sister P. We appreciate you, all of you who are here live with us, and those who will be watching in the future, and those who are listening on YouTube. We appreciate each and every one. You have a huge role to play in every webinar that we hold, so your presence is highly appreciated. We look forward to seeing you again on all the sister forums as mentioned by our great sister host. And please, always come prepared to learn, because this is a learning forum for each and every one of us. Even those who run the webinars still learn from one another. So thank you to all our YouTube viewers. We appreciate you, and we look forward to seeing you again very soon. Take care and blessings for this year. One more week to go before we start visualizing where 2025 will be. But for now, thank you, take care, and blessings.